All right, so I'll try to tell this kind of fast, all right, if I can. Okay, and here I go. On your mark, get set, go. Okay, so anyways, quarter story. All right, so whenever I go to voiceover work, I take the freeway, and when I come home, I exit the off-ramp, and at the end of that off-ramp, there's a light there, right? And there's always some homeless guy on that corner where that light is before I make a left to go under the overpass and go home. Always some homeless guy. And I always ignored them, too, because I'm in my car, and I feel like they could jack me if I try to give them something, you know, and so I just ignore them. Not that you should ignore homeless people. I just did in that situation. And so anyways, I'm making the story longer. Crap. Okay, so one day I exit the off-ramp, and there's 4 or 5 cars in front of me. It's about like me to almost to the end of the room, not quite that far, but maybe halfway. And I'm there. It's a red light, and a monster truck pulls up behind me. And I just feel the vibration of the engine, and I can just see tires. It's just, right? And it's a true monster truck. And in my head, I hear, as soon as that turns green, bing! It's like, Monster Madness! And I just imagine this guy, because I feel like the car is shaking, you know? And I'm like panicking. And so I'm like, oh man, as soon as this turns green, we all better go, because this guy's ready to go. And I have this Ziploc bag full of carrots that I had left over from lunch. I'm scarfing them down. You know, this is my last supper. And I look over, expecting to see some homeless guy standing on the corner that I'm going to ignore. And I saw a homeless woman, and my heart went out to her. I was like, oh, man, I feel so bad. You know, that could be my mom, you know? And in L.A., you guys know, and any of you guys, if you live here, you know, you have to pay for parking everywhere, you know? And so my cup holders are full of quarters, right? And I just finished those carrots, and I have this empty Ziploc bag. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to give money to this woman here, you know, go change her life or whatever. And so I scoop up all the quarters, every single one of them, and I put them in this Ziploc bag, and I'm like, dude, this is like 3 pounds worth of quarters, right? And so I don't know, I've never done this before in the car, you know, and so I'm like, I just roll down my window, and I put my hand out like this, expecting her to come over, and let me stand up. So roll down the window, I do this, right? And again, she's like me to the halfway to the room, maybe a little bit farther, and she sees me, she has a sign, and she goes like this. I was like, what? Am I supposed to get out? What's supposed to go on? I can't throw that far left-handed. I didn't know what to do, you know? I was like confused. And I was like, what's going on here? And the light changes green, right? And these cars in front of me must have felt the vibration as well of Monster Madness, and they just took off. So instinctively, I'm like, I better start going. And so I start going, right? And then I look down, I'm like, holy cow, I'm like 25 miles an hour right now with a 3-pound bag of quarters. I can't, this monster truck is right behind me. I can't stop suddenly and then him run over me. And I'm like, how is this exchange now gonna happen, you know? And I'm like, I can't just throw it in her gut and be like, good, you know? And I'm like, what if she hangs on to it too long and I pull her under my car and kill her? You know? Or I hang on to it too long, I get yanked out and I die. So I'm like freaking out, you know? And I'm like, and then I get this moment of clarity, this epiphany. I'm like, Johnny, you're a martial artist. It's just focus and timing. Right? Just judge the distance, you know? And so I'm like, all right, 3-pound bag of quarters, 25 miles an hour. All I have to do is go like this. And I'll watch it gracefully land into her hands. So as I'm approaching her, right, 25 miles an hour, I'm waiting for the right moment. I'm like, now. And I release. And if you've ever been in an accident, time slows down. And that is no joke, right? And I think like God was like, whoa, hit the slow motion button. It was like, Moses, Jesus, bring some nachos. Let's play this one in slow motion. We're going to show him this when he's dead. Over and over and over again. So there I am, I release, and slow motion detail, I watch as this 3-pound bag of quarters flies through the air at 25 miles an hour. 3 pounds worth of quarters. Smacks her in the face. The bag rips open, quarters fall, glistening in the sunlight, and my only reaction was this. No! Going so fast that I screech around the corner. There's nowhere to turn around. All I saw was her reaction was this. She went down as I screamed no, went around the corner. Homeless woman. It's a true story.
That was beautiful. Guys, can we give a round of applause for that, please?
My life.
That's great.
So if there's a lesson to be learned here, it's don't give homeless people money while driving your car. It's a true story. Here's the thing. It's like, before that day, I'm not even joking. Before that day, it's on Topanga, 118,
I know
right
exactly
there.
what you're
But right there, there's always been a homeless dude standing on that corner. But after that day, never again. I'm not even joking. Never again.
Yeah.
And I think like the homeless people meet, you know, like under a bridge fire. This is what I envision. under a bridge, there's like a barrel fire or something. They're like huddled around, and Bob shows up. And it's like, hey, Bob, where's Sarah? It's like, you didn't hear? She's dead. Some guy killed her with quarters. We had just enough to bury her. I do feel like I should put a little white cross there or something. Anyways,
That got
man.
really
That's right.
dark at
You
the
should
end.
have played dodgeball, man.
that's how I do. So, anyways, that sucked.
That's the
Okay.
quarter story. That
I do that stuff all the time. Let me tell you one. This one's really fast, but I'm not trying to tell you. I'm just gonna example of what my life is like. All right, I'm at Disneyland. I told this at breakfast. I was at Disneyland with my daughter, and we're walking around. I see this lizard run by, and I like bring her over. I'm like, oh, look, there's a lizard. And she's like, where? Right? We go over. There's a lizard running, and then we lean down like this, and I go, hey, little guy. And then a little person turns and looks at me, and I go, what? And then the lizard runs off, and I was like, no, there's a No, I wasn't, not you. There's a lizard.
Oh, man.
Johnny Young Bosch.
Yay.
Oh,
That's my life.